only is Penn seeing a big boost today, but take a look at other stocks. MGM up 6%. You've got Red Rock Resorts and Boyd up 10%. That's because Nevada Gaming Commission just announced guidelines for reopening that have patrons wearing masks. They would have distance between these slot machines. No date yet for reopening, but there the CEO said he was hoping for when. He says that he was hoping for the end of May. Jay Snowden, let's talk to you about Penn National. Your stock way up on the day. What are going to be the first casinos that you have reopening?
Sure, Contessa. Good to see you. Good to hear your voice. And let me start by saying that we have been profoundly impacted by COVID-19. We've lost 3 of our own team members, unfortunately, and our hearts and thoughts go out to our team members, family, and friends, of course, and anyone who has been impacted by this terrible pandemic. And I also wanted to provide a big thank you. There's so many working on the front line right now, emergency services, and those that are essential team members. And it's something that none of us would have imagined 2 months ago, but I can't thank those enough that are on the front line. So I wanted to start by saying that. And look, you said it exactly right. You know, there's some positive news out there in terms of potential reopenings in the industry. We've been in conversations with governors and regulators in a number of states where we operate. In the Midwest and down south and west, we operate 41 properties in 19 states, and it's looking like most states are targeting late May into June for a potential phased reopening. And what exactly that looks like state by state is going to depend on what those state requirements and the health experts in those states are looking for. But I think generally speaking, you can expect along the lines of what you heard in Nevada, that it would be every other slot machine, every other seat at a table game, restaurants, limited capacity. But we're looking forward to bringing back our team members and welcoming back our valued guests in a safe environment, which we think is coming soon.
You saw your stock skyrocket after the Barstool announcement about your investment in that particular sports brand. And then sports got shut down during COVID. What's been the impact on your digital business, on iGaming and your sports betting business? And what do you think is going to happen as you resume to reopened operations?
Sure. Well, the impact on our sports betting business has been significant in that there really is no sports betting business to be had right now with no live sports. We do operate real money gaming, iCasino in the state of Pennsylvania. That business, as you can imagine, has grown tremendously. I mentioned this morning on our earnings call that we saw 60% growth from March to April in our real money gaming business in Pennsylvania. What this means longer term is very exciting because sports are likely to go live later in the summer, potentially in the fall, from everything that we're hearing and reading. We have been developing our Barstool Sportsbook app that is going to be launched in the third quarter. And we think that if there's any silver lining here, at least for Penn, in terms of the delays for live sports, is that it puts us on a more level playing field when sports do go live again. And we think that this legalization process that is happening at the state level stands to accelerate. And we really think we'll benefit from that because we operate in more states than any gaming company in the world.
Jay, how critical is reopening your properties? And I ask that in the context of liquidity. Investors are concerned about leverage as well as liquidity and the ability to operate. How should we think about how many days of liquidity you have to operate if the shutdown lasts longer or if you can't open the properties when you're planning to?
Sure. What we've shared publicly is that we have, as of March 31st, $730 million of cash on hand in a zero revenue environment, which we don't believe is realistic, given that we now see some light at the end of the tunnel in terms of reopenings in some limited way over the course of the next couple of months. We have enough liquidity with an $83 million a month cash burn to get us through the remainder of the year. Again, that is in a zero revenue environment. So now that we are going to be reopening our properties, we also shared this morning on our earnings call that between 25 and 30% of prior year revenue levels will get us to break even EBITDA at the property level. So you can assume that once our properties ramp beyond 30% of revenue, we're burning less cash and our liquidity profile moves well into 2021.